Okay, hey everybody. I am here with Eileen Applebaum, and she is the founder of a new line at Daniel House Club. Not brand new in the world, but new to us. It's called Thread Soft Goods, and it's a really wonderful product that I think is better learned about via you, Eileen. And it's so tactile that I think it's really helpful to have this sort of trunk show style thing that we're going to do. So I'm excited to see some stuff. But I thought we'd get started with what sets Thread Soft Goods apart.
Well, thank you, Peter. So in the marketplace in general, I've been in the home textile and home furnishings industry for about 30 years. And as it's evolved over the last, I would say 5-10 years, as digital printing has become so readily available, printed pillows in general have really taken the market between upholstery fabrics or on-demand digital prints. That seems to be a big piece of the market. So when I wanted to start sort of better in the good, better, best to better to best category, I just felt like there were so many players in that field. And what I really knew from my experience was the handmade. I had traveled for my work to India for over 20 years and really loved these heritage techniques, handmade, whether it's beadwork, embroidery, applique, very specialized kind of printing like block printing, really specialized regional techniques that are somewhat of a dying art in the world of fast fashion and all of that. Even in the home furnishings space, the handmade is what really got me excited. And I just felt that there was a missing piece in the market to offer that level of handwork that's readily available, that isn't so specialized that you can get to it.
So when you started on this journey, did you already know the regions that could perform all of that specialized work, or was there some exploration for you?
Like 30 years ago, I had an antique store in New York, and that really were the years where I developed such a love of the history of textiles. I would go to flea markets near and far, and I was a, garbage picker all the way up to fancy shows, and was like a scavenger really. And in my years of doing that, I fell in love with textiles and the history of textiles, and went to design school for a period of time. And at design school, took all the history of textile classes. So I really had an interest and a passion for how it was all connected, that, that global trade and the maritime, when Columbus was discovering America and there were all these European ships traveling the world, they were bringing crafts from printing. Block printing was in India, but it ended up being in England, and batik that was done in Indonesia is now being done in all different places. And it was just this incredible interconnected textile industry. So my love of all of it started in a more abstract collector's kind of a way. And then I worked at Crate & Barrel for over 20 years as a textile buyer. And in that job, I had the unbelievable privilege to travel the world and source for products, but always with an eye towards a $59 pillow, a $79 pillow, very, take the best of the techniques that were out there and how to make them en masse, make thousands of them at a time, and do it for a price point. So it was really the marriage of those two things that allowed me to start Thread Soft Goods, because I could take my understanding of production and importing and how to have efficiencies in manufacturing, but really my love for the technique in a way that I had never been able to do. So it really lets me kind of flex my muscles in a way that I hadn't. That's very, very exciting for me.
Okay, cool. Well, you've answered a bit of my question about like the road to getting to Thread Soft Goods. But if you want to get us all the way to when you actually founded this business, that'd be cool.
Sure. So after a long time at Crate & Barrel in Chicago, my heart brought me back to my hometown of New York, and was doing quite a bit of consulting. And one of those consulting opportunities was for Curry & Company, the lighting company. I knew Brownlee Curry, the founder. he and I both worked at Crate and Barrel as store managers 100 years ago. And we'd always stayed in touch. And he had wanted to put a line of textiles together for curry. And so I went to India on his behalf and worked with my source vendors that I had there, and kind of worked on a project for curry. But when we got to kind of the finish line of that project, and I had made all the samples and he and his team had sort of signed off on what they wanted to proceed with, it just, given how big curry is and how hard goods focused it is, and glass and metal and wood, and it just wasn't necessarily an easy fit operationally for this to be part of curry. So I had my own little Etsy shop at the time and was doing the vintage pillows made out of vintage fabrics. So we kind of joined them together and opened about a year and a half ago, January of 24, we launched Threads. So the collection is a separate company. Brownlee personally is my business partner in Threads. So we're kind of a sibling of Curry. We have our own showroom in New York. We, kind of run our own race here, but we have wonderful affiliations with Curry and are able to import in their containers and get lots of sort of benefits, operational benefits, if you will, of being with a bigger organization and connecting to companies like Daniel House Club, and, allowing us to have kind of the benefits of being big while being quite small and boutique, and very nimble, and can try lots of new things.
It sounds like the perfect world for somebody who identifies as a scavenger. I was while you were talking about your history in the industry, I was curious what your answer would be to. Is there still room in our industry for scavenging? Is it?
Well, it's as a reference for that, Brimfield, which is probably one of the bigger flea markets in the United States, is happening as we speak. And the fact that I'm in New York City and I'm not in Brimfield, Massachusetts right now, all the other scavengers are there and I'm not there. So that's kind of killing me. So yeah, I just think that the industry has pivoted towards efficiencies and sort of mass production, and that serves a wonderful purpose. I just think that box has been checked. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't need another player in that arena. And that lots of big mass retailers are doing a great job of that. And that there isn't a company, let's call it a medium-sized company, that can bring to the design community really handmade and have it be available. Like, we have everything is in stock. Do you know what I mean? Normally it would be a one-off and you could get a custom made and it would be a long, 16-week process and quite expensive. We sort of have the benefits of being a little bit bigger and efficiencies of that, but really all handmade and all natural materials, like nothing synthetic. And so,
cool.
Yeah.
Well, so one of the, from our perspective, one thing that sets you guys apart from incredible quality and cool making processes is you actually have great photography, which is a rarity in the pillow or soft goods department at all. So I want you to tell us a little bit about how that process happens, and what are the assets available to people trying to sell your goods to their clients.
So I think because Crate and Barrel is such a presentation oriented company, it isn't just beautiful product, but it was how you presented both bricks and mortar and how you presented on a website and in a catalog is just my orientation, my 30 years of orientation towards storytelling. And I just think this is a product, particularly if all you're looking at is a flat image of our product against any other printed pillow, it's hard to understand why it's special and unique. The story of the making of it, and I think more specialized photography that we really go to great effort and expense to create, has made all the difference. When we launched, we had a little brochure that had little postage stamp size images that was kind of a takeaway if you had been to a market and saw our product, so you'd remember. Now we have, and I have one here so I can show you, we have our catalog, which, we have a fantastic photographer, and we have beautiful locations where we're doing the photo shoots, both outdoors and indoors, often in nature and some beautiful botanical gardens kind of thing. And, we're able to really show very beautiful photography that I think really captures the why, that it isn't, from a distance, an embroidered pillow looks like a printed pillow. Close up, you can see all the handwork and all the special beading that on that bug pillow I was just showing on the screen, just seeing the embroidery of the eyes and the little, metallic embroidery thread that's used to highlight a certain area just isn't translatable in a flat image. So we have last April, I think it was, we debuted this catalog, and it has made all the difference in the world. I think it has opened up e-commerce for us. It has opened up follow-up with clients who see us at shows. Everyone who walks up to us at shows, I'll be honest, is like, oh my God, I've never seen anything like this. It's so special, so unique. But then they get back, and if I didn't have anything to give them, how do they translate that and communicate that to their clients? How do they turn people on the way we turned them on, So I think the catalog and the imagery we use that has made all the difference.
Yeah. They've got to buy a pillow for themselves and put it in their suitcase and bring it home.
Exactly.
This may be a proprietary question, so feel free not to answer me. Is there when you're putting together this photography, I mean, I know the expense can be huge. Do you how do you determine what budget is going to be appropriate for?
Well, as much as having Brownlee Curry as my partner doesn't change the fact that we're a teeny weeny little business, and it's really me and one other person here in New York. So we are the cleanup crew. We're we mop the floor, we do everything here. And so a photo shoot is the two of us and a photographer. We're loading up the car. We're filling the hefty bags. We're bringing it to the location. We're wheeling it over. We're doing every single thing. We're styling it, So we don't have a team of style. We're not Restoration Hardware with a team of stylists and whatever. We're praying for no rain, and we're doing all the lifting and schlepping ourselves. So we're finding venues that, we're not spending, location budgets and all of that. We found an incredible botanical garden in a lesser known area, and it's got an old Chinese scholars garden. So in 2 days from now, we have our next shoot for our October catalog, and it's this incredible, a pagoda. I mean, just this incredible location. It's kind of off the beaten path, and we're like I said, we're a scrappy group who are just doing it all ourselves. And I'm this is not my first rodeo, but you got to stay humble and do it all yourself, because I want it to be that I want the catalog to be as luxury and amazing as it can be. Yeah. And we're a new little business, so that's how it goes.
Takes a lot of schlepping to make it all look so beautiful.
Yes.
All right. Well, maybe we should get to our little trunk show part of this. And why don't you just show us some of your favorite things? And
absolutely. So what I thought I would do is really highlight kind of what our secret sauce is. We like to say there's a little surprise and delight on every product. And I would say one of the things that right out of the gate really turned out to be a very almost like signature thing of ours is that we focused on not just the front of the pillow, but the back of the pillow, the zipper, and the zipper pull. So I'm going to grab a couple of the pillows and show you what I'm talking about. So this is our zipper pillow. The front of it is natural undyed linen. And then we've applied, sewn down an actual zipper on its tape to create the whole front face of the pillow. And then when we were done, I had them make the zipper pull an actual, I don't know if you can see that, but it's an actual zipper. So the zipper pull is the zipper. So, some fun little unexpected thing like that. Or this is our shibori pillow. This is actual silk on the front, and the back is 100% silk. and dyeing. Shibori is a Japanese technique of how you tie and dye fabric. In particular kinds of patterning is known as shibori. This was done in India by a very well-known textile designer who taught herself shibori tie dyeing during the pandemic, and she's a dear friend. So when I went to India to work on the collection, she's like, I have to show you. So this was the first, like, we're the only ones. So she's selling, this is real. This isn't a digital print of shibori. This is shibori, so that everyone is just a little bit different. You get a little bit different striation. And at the corners, we have these beautiful wool and silk fabric that's dyed to match in these beautiful little, almost like pom-poms on the corners.
Fun.
So again, it's like, it's not just some print on the front, it's all the way around. It's the little trim detail.
Yeah, I took a shibori class right before the pandemic began, and my work did not look anything near really
No
beautiful.
judgment. Another one of our very popular pillows is, we call it jute fringe, but it's taking jute, which is really just rope, and braiding it or crimping it, and then dip dyeing it so that it's like an ombre from light to dark. And it's the front face of the pillow is this natural undyed linen, and then this gorgeous jute fringe. This is among our best sellers. And one of my other little, I don't want to call it a gimmick, but one of our other little surprise and delight moments. This is our best-selling pillow. It's called a Blue Botany. And
I was hoping you'd bring that down, because I was wanting to get a better look the whole time we were chatting. Oh, wow.
so that's all full coverage embroidery. That's called Ari embroidery. So every single part of the face is embroidered with a continuous running stitch. And then the little stamens, or the little centers here in the pillows, are all little French knots. They're beautiful little three-dimensional French knots. And here's this is the little surprise and delight. I had wanted to do this since my crate and barrel years. We could never afford to do it, which was to have the pattern spill onto the back of the pillow. So in a couple of the spots, it's like running over onto the other side. So again, it's not just about the front. It's like from every angle, the pillow looks amazing. So that's really our kind of signature thing, is like the full experience of that. I'm trying to think of others. Oh, and then here's another. This is a wild silk and wool. The front is different from the back. It's from different parts of the same weaving, with these gorgeous tassels made up of all the warp yarns. And then the zipper pull. So it's a beautiful antique bronze zipper. And then the zipper pull, if you can see it, is just this little beautiful cloth covered. It's like the same wool and silk fabric in a little like ball. And it's just, again, it's just one little extra, like a piece of jewelry or a little extra accent that just shows the amount of sort of handwork and effort that goes into each item.
I can see how that pattern going over onto the back may push you above $79.99.
I would say that's probably accurate. Yes.
So one thing I notice when I'm buying pillows for a client is that while they may not ever recognize it, the fill of the pillow has such a huge impact on whether it looks pretty for more than a day or what. How are your pillows filled? Is that part of the purchase?
So yes. So the feather and down fill is purchased domestically, and it is a 90-10 ratio, meaning 10% down, 90% feather. I would say in all my years at Crate, 95.5 was sort of the industry standard for a good pillow, is 95 and only 5% down. We have 10% down, which just is enough to give it that full loft. There's also something called fill weight. Fill weight is how much you're filling of like a density. And we have a very high fill weight. I don't think there's a number that means anything in the industry. So I don't even, off the top of my head, I don't even know it. But I have gone through a process with this factory so that we have really full,
Those heavier pillows just always feel better.
yes.
There's
It makes
much.
all the difference, and that it sort of has presence. We have a lot of pillows that have, this is our brass rings, another very good seller. This is all little brass rings on a knit front, and it weighs a lot. It's like a big, heavy thing. So if it doesn't have a full stuffer, it like looks like a sack of potatoes or something. You know what I mean? Like it's just kind of limp. So we have found it makes a big difference to have these very full stuffers. And because we stock everything in Atlanta, our stuffers, the covers come from India and Peru, and everything's ready to ship. So we have the stuffers, we ship everything together, so it's all, you get it all together. And the other, I did want to mention also that we've added a category of throws. We currently have about 5 new throws. We've gotten into the category of alpaca, like baby alpaca, really luxury, gorgeous throws. And I'll grab one of those to show you. This is made in Peru. It's a gorgeous alpaca throw. This has very big, like a braid out of the warp, and then little extra tassels that are so soft. And these are all the natural color of the alpacas. So they sort of categorize the yarn colors of the natural, and then so there's this undyed. So this is all an undyed product.
Awesome. I see a Christmas gift for my mother coming soon.
And even the pillow of that one, just to show you one less. This is an alpaca pillow that we're now carrying that's got these gorgeous, so it's 100% alpaca and these beautiful, again, undyed.
Is cool.
Beautiful pillow.
I love the colors in that. Yeah. That's really nice. I have a question which maybe you don't have insight for, but I think it is something designers kind of struggle with. What would you tell a designer whose client is like, I don't want to spend $3,500 on pillows in my living room or whatever? How do you help them kind of help their client understand the value of what you're offering?
Right. In one breath, I would say you're not going to find what we're doing anywhere else. So if special and unique is what you're looking for your home, digitally printed fabrics or printed fabrics with ribbon trims or some sort of stock trims, a lot of people use it. So it's not that I don't understand it. I just think today everybody wants bespoke everything. And ours is bespoke in the sense that everyone isn't going to be identical. The shibori is going to be different. There's so much handwork that each one just has a little bit of character, a little bit of something that makes them special. And is it for everyone? It's probably not for everyone. But if what you're looking for is special and distinct and handmade and natural, I would say those are our reasons for being. It has been overwhelming since we launched last April at High Point. The response has just been incredible because I feel like designers are just one after one, or little boutiques are coming up to us one after one and saying, there's nothing like this in the market. There's just nothing. It's either print or they have to buy upholstery fabrics where they have to buy 3-yard minimums at $250 a yard or $400 a yard. And then they have to hire a seamstress to make the pillow. So they're spending almost $1,000 anyway on a pair of pillows. This way they're getting bespoke. They're getting, something super specialized that's handmade and really special and isn't that much money compared to that.
Yeah, it's
haven't met a lot of resistance on the price, to be honest.
No, I wouldn't think that you would. I more just think sometimes it's particularly for a young new designer, it's intimidating to tell your client, yes, this is the line item for pillows. I personally always kind of struggled with it. I did learn to get there, but
it's so funny. Someone, and this is anecdote, so take it for what it's worth. A designer told me that they put the price of the pillows in the price of the sofa that they quote to the customer, and then they don't tell the customer, because what's the difference if it's, you know, $3,500 or $3,800? You know, like they're just not, you know, so that's their little secret cheat.
That's a great strategy. That's really I will advise people to do that.
You didn't hear it from me. You didn't hear it from me.
Okay, final question. I'm seeing my my Mac says it will go to sleep soon if I don't plug it in. So I'm going to get this question out quickly.
Yes.
And then we'll say goodbye. Where can people find you? Where do you exhibit? Where can we see?
So we currently show about 4 shows a year. High Point, April and October. Atlanta, January and July. And we just this past market this summer showed in Vegas for the first time. So I'm sure that will continue. We're talking about showing in Dallas. Our showroom is here in New York City, open by appointment anytime. And
Wonderful.
we welcome, and in addition to our running line, which is here and which is on Daniel House Club's website, we have a line of vintage pillows that are here as well. So if people ever wanted to come here, they could, we would love to have them and welcome them. And that's what we're doing.
Awesome. Well, Eileen, thank you so much for your time. It's been wonderful to chat with you and get a little bit more knowledge here. We're thrilled to have Thread Soft Goods as part of our vendor family. And we're looking forward to meeting you in person soon too. So
excellent. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Talk soon.
All right.
Bye.